All right, kids. So let's do Lesson 7, Level 6, C and D for the Choose Your Own Adventures. This is converting a while loop to a for loop. So let's look at the FIFA World Cup first. And so the FIFA World Cup attendance data set, again, that's on Kaggle. Love Kaggle. Look at the data there, you'll like it. And so each tournament is stored in a one-dimensional array. So there is an array in the World Cup, and it's an array of tournaments. So each tournament has three attributes: the host company, the year, and the attendance for that year. And so, for example, in the first element, this is going to be index 0, was Uruguay. That year was 1930, so that's year 0. And then the attendance 0 would be 590,549. So those three elements, Uruguay, 1930, and this attendance, would be stored as a tournament object in this array at index 0. Now let's talk about how this array is created from the host's years and attendance text. So down here at line 12, there is a constructor that gets the host files, years file, and attendance file, and then this is where they are creating the array. So there is a method just below on line 20. This method returns a tournament array, and the method is called create world cups, and it takes a host file, a years file, and an attendance file. And so this first line is turning the host file into an array. This is turning the years file into an array, and this is turning the attendance file into an array. And then there is an array being created here called temp, the temp tournaments, which is an empty array. There's nothing in the array, but its length is the same as the lengths of the host file. And then what we're going to do is this method then goes from 0, index 0, through the length, one less than the length, and it populates that temporary tournament array with a new tournament object. So that's how we build up this World Cup array up here at the top. So we turn the files into their arrays, and then we have an empty array that we populate. And we just take the first index of each one and print it out. I put it in that 0 spot in the new array. Then we go to the index 1 of each of those other arrays and put them together in index 1 here. So what we want to do is in the World Cup file, we want to convert the while loop down here. This while loop we want to convert to an enhanced for loop. So I'm going to just add a multi-line comment to comment this stuff out. Let me try this again. So there's that. And I won't need this, so what I would like to do is, and I just want to, I will leave my total there because that's going to kind of initialize my total. And so I want to go for, and World Cups get attendance I am working with everything in here is a tournament. Everything in that array is in a tournament. So I need to go down here and I need to make tournament. I'll call it TT in, and that is the World Cups. And let's make sure that's correct. Yep, World Cups is the name right here. That's World Cups. And then so for each thing, what I want to do is I literally want to take this, and I'm not going to use this exact one, but I'm going to modify it. Oops, I must have missed the total part. Total equals total plus, but it's not World Cups at index. I'm just going to go TT, get attendance. And everything else should work okay. So let's go to the World Cup class. I think it's going to print out the average attendance. Let's see what it does. All right, well, I got no errors. Got the average attendance. Let's run the test and see what the test does. All right, feel good. So let's go to level 4, which will be D of the Choose Your Own Adventure. We're probably going to do exactly the same thing. So I've got my music survey, and there are respondents, and each respondent has 2 attributes, an age and the number of hours per day they listen to music. So the music survey has an array of answers from respondents, and let's go back how we created that. So here is a constructor, and to create this respondents, to create this array here of respondents, there is a method they created to create responses, taking the 2 files, the age file and the hours file. And just like we did in that other one, here is the method. What it's doing is it's taking the ages file and turning it into an array. It's taking the hours file and turning it into an array. And then it's creating an empty temporary array, which we populate using this for loop. So we go from index 0 to index 1 less than the length of those arrays. And inside the array, we put a new respondent. So each element in this array, each element will be a respondent, which will have 2 attributes, the age and the hours. And so the only thing I want to do is I want to I want to change this to an enhanced for loop. So I'm going to put a multi-line comment here. And I want to go for, and these are all respondents. For respondents, I'll call it RR. In the answers array, I want to take for my new total, I want to take my old total and return the number of hours that respondent listened. And then that's going to compute the average for me. So let's see if this works. Well, doesn't like something. I bet it's not respondents. I bet it's respondent. Respondent. And I used respondents. That's what I did. So let's try this again, see if this works. There you go. Let's run the test, see if the test likes it. All right. That's lesson 7, level 6.